Good afternoon, guys. Discussion A here deals with older folks reinventing themselves job wise because most of them still want to contribute to society even though they are retired. Retired folks have more experience than younger folks. So I'm going to go through the presentation I made for you. Please enjoy. I want to begin with a story. Last fall, I met a woman named Denise. She had spent 35 years as a licensed practical nurse in a rural long-term care facility. Her back had carried thousands of patients. Her hands held hundreds of families through the hardest nights of their lives. Her work was not just a job. It was a vocation, a thread woven through every chapter of her adult life. At 61, Denise wasn't ready to stop working, but she was ready to work differently. She enrolled in a community college program to become a medical coder. She told me I still want I still want to be part of care. I just need a role my body can keep up with. Denise is not an exception. She's the future. Across America, older adults are reinventing their work lives, not out of crisis, but out of clarity. They are learning new skills, entering new industries, and reshaping what contribution looks like in the second half of life. And they are doing so. They are doing it quietly, without fanfare, in classrooms, in libraries, workforce centers, and kitchen tables. They are rewriting the script of aging in real time. Today, I want to argue something simple and urgent. Late life reintervention is not a personal trend, it is a national economic strategy. And our policies must catch up. The demographic reality we can no longer ignore. By 2030, 1 in 5 Americans will be over 65, but by 2050, adults over 50 will dominate the workforce. The pipeline of younger workers is shrinking. The demand for experienced workers is rising. It is not a crisis. It is a structural shift, one that touches every sector, every region, every employer. Older adults are healthier, living longer, and eager to contribute. But our labor policies, retirement systems, and training programs were built for a 20th century life course. a world where careers last 30 years, not 50. Where learning happened in youth, not across the lifespan. Where retirement was a cliff, not a transition. We are living in a longevity economy with mid-century policies that mismatch is costing us talent, productivity, and growth. And it is costing us something deeper: the dignity of older adults who want to keep shaping the world around them. The economic power of reintervention. Late life reintervention is already stabilizing the American workforce. Older adults are starting businesses at higher rates than younger workers, filling critical gaps in healthcare, education, and skilled trades, providing mentorship and continuity in industries with higher turnover, bringing judgment, emotional intelligence, and crisis treated resilience, supporting rural economies where younger workers have moved away. These contributions are not sentimental, they are measurable. Increasing older adult workforce participation could add meaningful percentage points to GDP growth over the next 2 decades. Reintervention is not clarity, it is strategy. It is the difference between a workforce that fractures under pressure and one that adapts with strength. But strategy requires infrastructure. Reintervention cannot depend on individual grit alone. It must be supported by policy. The barriers we must dismantle. Despite their value, older adults face barriers that younger workers do not. Age discrimination in hiring and promotion. Training systems that assume learning stops at 25. Workforce design that ignores functional aging. Retirement policies that force abrupt exits. Caregiving burdens that fall disproportionately on older women. Health insurance cliffs that discourage part-time work. These barriers are not inevitable. They are policy choices. And we can choose differently. We can choose to build a workforce system that recognizes the reality of longevity We can choose to treat older adults not as a burden, but as a renewable resource. We can choose to modernize the architecture of work so it fits the people who actually do the work. The policy blueprint for a reinvention economy to harness the power of late life reintervention. We need a modern policy framework, one that aligns with the lived experience of aging in America. Lifelong learning infrastructure, fund mid and late career training through workforce boards, community colleges, and employer partnerships. Learning must be continuous, accessible, and affordable. Mid-career training, anti-age discrimination enforcement. Strengthen enforcement mechanisms that modernize hiring policies to reduce bias. Ageism is not just unfair, it is economically self-defeating. Flexible and phased work models support phased retirement, part-time professional roles, and hybrid schedules that accommodate caregiving and health needs. Workplace redesign, invest in economic improvements, assistive technologies, and job recruiting that align with functional aging. Support for caregivers. Expand paid leave, respite care, and caregiver tax credits. Caregiving is a workforce issue, not a private burden. Health system alignment. Integrate late life intervention into health system planning, recognizing that functional health is a detriment of workforce participation. Rural workforce stabilization. Fund reintervention programs specifically for rural communities where older adults are often the backbone of local economies. These policies are not radical, they are realistic. They are not expensive compared to the cost of interaction. And they are not partisan. Longevity belongs to all of us. The human story beneath the policy. But policy alone is not enough. We must rewrite the cultural narrative of aging. We must stop treating older adults as though they are living in the epilogue of their lives. Many are living in their most creative chapters. Reintervention is not about chasing youth, it's about claiming relevance. It is about shaping the future with the wisdom of the past. It is about refusing to become a spectator in one's own life. Denise, the nurse, turned in decoder, told me something I will never forget. She said, I spent my life caring for people. Reintervention just means I got to keep doing that in a way that my body can handle. That is the heart of this movement. Older adults are not asking for permission to contribute. They are asking for the infrastructure that allows them to keep doing so. The call to action. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to labor shortages, economic stagnation, and wasted human potential. And the other leads to a workforce strengthened by experience, stabilized by wisdom, and energized by reintervention. The choice is ours. We can invest, or if we invest in late life reintervention, if we modernize our policies, redesign our workplaces, and expand our imagination, we will unlock a source of national strength that has been hiding in plain sight. Older adults are not the past. They are the future, and the future is already here. Thank you. Okay, guys, that is A for you. I will be back on with B shortly. Give me a bit for that, please, and I'll have that for you very shortly. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.